driver, or I should say a school janitor in Ontario in USA, somewhere in mid-70s, wanted to start one movie. He started one movie in 87 and then in 91. That is, I'm talking about James Cameron. Now his movies are worth more than $10 billion worldwide. Yes, he's the creative thinker, as we call, especially in the context of the innovators. As in machine learning, the Gadija sir was telling us, especially two things I want to highlight. Thinking out of the box, yes, that is thinking out of the box. Second part is your credibility, your academic credibility, as well as your vigor. And in scientific world, there is always one important question. It is, of course, not about the number of publication. It is the impact of your publication. So today, I will talk about how Edoxia across 193 countries, we are actually inculcating these values. Ethical publications, yes, it is very, very important. Scopus publications, yes, it is also very, very important. And make sure that your manuscript, whatever the research you do, has a citation value. This is the most important part. That means the other will read it and then they feel it. Yes, this is the actual research and I want to cite it and I want to use it, get inspired by that one, and also make sure that I will also go with some novelty, which is very, very important. So without any further delay, I would like to start my presentation. And today I will talk about one very important aspect of the publication, that is the Scopus publication. And I will also highlight, I will give you one sense of the drafting part also, that how actually we are going for a draft process, which is almost the question from each and everyone, starting from our IIPians to our all the scholars across the globe, those who have joined Edoxia, that how actually we are imparting this one very important problem. That is that how you can learn the free process of submissions or Scopus publications. In the modern context, yes, as our Honorable President, sir, and Professor Gadija has already shared, that there are so many things, unethical activities are going on. For example, the authorships available, first, second, third, fourth. Now, this is the things which we need to fight it out. Someone says that, yes, 10 days, free Scopus publication. No. You can have to pay this amount of money and you'll get in 10 days, you will get a Scopus publication certificate. Now, this is the things that these scammers will luring our academicians, and we need to fight it out. Since the inception of 2018, the Edoxia is actually empowering the scholars across the globe by their webinars, their events, their programs, symposiums, workshops like these, and international conferences like these, how we are improving their quality. That is by making sure that we'll talk about this thing with the context of the modern information as well. Now, of course, the AI is there. So now our all workshop events have the influences of the AI, that how you can use it ethically. But you have to learn, very simple. Now, let's start the first part, where, for example, I have prepared one manuscript. Now I have done my research, done my hard work for 1.5 years or maybe 1 year. And now I'm ready to write down my manuscript. How should I start? What are the things I need to know? If I write down the manuscript already, then how should I target a proper, or what we say in the scientific community, targeting a journal is very, very important. It is in sync with two things. One is the novelty and, of course, the innovation that you're bringing out in your manuscript. Second part is the relevance in the modern context, as well as the application part of your research. Both are very important. I have seen many manuscripts, as our all proud IIPians, they are sharing their manuscripts for the discussion parts. That's how we help them in terms of the journal selections, that how you can go, how you can learn the journal submissions, what are the things you need to keep in mind. Even in our webinars, all our international experts are talking about the drafting processes, how you should be aware of predatory journals, clone journals, those who are just there for money, and they do not have any peer review process. So what are the things we need to know? We need to know that any journal that I'm targeting is, of course, we need to go in certain proper manner for the relevance part. For example, if I have a manuscript ready, What I will do is, if I'm targeting a Scopus journal, I will go to the Scopus database. I will go to sciencedirect.com and see and hit my keywords and see what are the current research available, which is actually in sync with my own research. Then I will choose certain journals that aims and scopes are matching with my manuscript, with my domain, with my area. And then what are the things I need to filter it out? First thing is, I need to be very careful in which quartile of journals that I'm selecting. Depending upon my comprehensiveness, depending upon my innovation, depending upon my extent of research and the application part, I will choose certain quartile. And it should remain a very, very important aspects. The Scopus journals should be in continuum. It is not like that today they are in Scopus, and after a Scopus quartile is over, you will see that, okay, it is already gone. So these are the things, because that journal does not follow the ethical guidelines of Scopus, especially in peer review processes or in their editorial teams, they will be discontinued, and your entire hard work is go to vain. So make sure, very critical aspect is that you will choose a journal which should be always in continuum. And my suggestion is that always go for Q1 and Q2 journals, maybe Q3 journals in terms of your submissions. Now, your perspective, your manuscript, very important that it has a citation value. In other words, let's talk about in the business term so that each and everyone can understand. If I have certain product to sell, it should have the value to be sold and consumed by the consumers. Very simple. Now, if my manuscript is giving something to the society, then only it has a citation value. That means your hard work and your research should be very much in sync so that you can give some new ideas, new research, new recommendations, something with the application, something with the innovation. And then once you publish it, the people will love to read it. People will love to cite it. And they will get an inspiration in their own literature review that, yes, Kumar and et al. Or Singh and et al. Has done this, so I am doing this one. In this is my research gap. This is how we should do a very, very important introspection in our manuscript. Now let's go to what are the things we need to know. Okay, I have one manuscript. Now how to start this? First of all, always prepare a rough draft. We always, in all our webinars, all in our workshops, we talk about how to prepare a rough draft. What are the things you need to know? What are the data you are having in your manuscript? How you are setting up your data? Then in Scopus to getting journal I'm looking forward to. So the selection of journal is very, very important. Now comes very, very important and integral part of your manuscript. How you have done the data analysis is something unique you have done, or you have done the simple statistical analysis and you have shown that, yes, the p-value is less than 0.5. Yes, it is significant. No, this might be publishable in maybe in 15 years from now, but not now. Now you have to make sure the art of interpretation, the art of data analysis, which of course our Professor Dr. Rajesh Kannur sir has highlighted, that how I can be unique in terms of my own data to show which is the most valuable, most critical, most important data sets, and how I'm representing it is actually the key. This is how your critical thinking as a scholar, as a student, as a learner, as a researcher come into play. Then go for target submissions. Yes, then go for submit your manuscript at once only in one journal. This is one of the most unethical activities you can do. And by the way, it has already been noted out from Scopus that if you want to try to submit in 2-3 journals simultaneously, that won't work. And that is actually a very negative impression of you as a scholar, as an academician. So make sure you target your submission, you check your abstract twice, thrice. In other words, sometimes you will go for some graphical abstracts. Mostly in Scopus, you will see that graphical abstract is always recommended. Sometimes in some journals, maybe, and of course in ACS journals, or sometimes in Web of Science, on SCI journals, it is mandatory also to have a graphical abstract. Use infographics, learn these things. learn Canva, learn Adobe, learn Origin, Sigma Plot, these kind of very important softwares so that you can have a beautiful figures. Please do not send Excel file or R figures to your manuscripts. I will tell you why you cannot do that later on once I will going for the presentation of a draft. Now, after learning, and this is how we are actually in Edoxia, we're always showing you live demonstrations about this, about the SPSS. We are showing the live demonstration about all the softwares that you required for your data interpretations. And that is how you can learn and you can execute in your manuscript. Now, let's come to one very important aspect, which I was already referred. Let's say I have a manuscript, targeting a Scopus journal. My search words are there. I will find certain search words, keywords, which I should say, which should be very general, common, and it should be SEO. It should be in search engine optimized. You should avoid the long sentences, or you can also go for your entire title. No issues. Go for your entire title and search. What are the relevance part in Scopus you are looking for? Use the current articles only in the filtration process. And once you select or seen certain journals, visit that journals, visit their online article first. It is available. See what are the kind trending articles are going to be published recently in that particular journal which I'm targeting. And then you can get a fair idea about the editor's mindset. Now, this is one of the very important part I would like to share. I would like to stop my screen here. And I would like to go for one very important, short, but very important drafting process that you should follow. And by this means, this is my own experience, of course. This is not a hard and fast rule, but it is, as a scholar, which I found it is very, very beneficial, especially if you're going for a Scopus publication. Now, in terms of, let's say I have selected one journal and I have to go about their author's instruction. They are the holy words from heaven. They are the holy words of God. You have to follow each and every word of the author's instruction. Very simple. There should be no compromise on that. Read it twice, thrice, and then start making your draft. Generally, in the title part, we have 14 words, max 14 words. It should not be not too long. And you can also go for a discussion part with the experts, with your guides about the title. This is very, very important. What should be the title of my manuscript? Always have a short title. Then comes very important part. The first page of your draft should contain the name of the authors, depending upon their contributions. In the scientific community, we always have the contribution towards the manuscript, which I think Professor Gadija sir is already highlighting it. That who will be the first author? Who is the second author? Who is the third author? Who is the final author? Who is the corresponding author? In general, what I have seen, that the first author is always those who are working with the manuscript, those who have done the research work. Second, third author may be a secondary one, those who are helping that particular student or a scholar in terms of either data analysis or in terms of certain research experiments, research analysis, or like these activities. Finally, the last author will be your guide, who is actually designed this entire frame of work. And he or she should be the corresponding author. So here, number of authors, you should always go as per ethical guidelines. And in some journals, nowadays in Scopus submission, it is mandatory to highlight each author's contributions. So make sure that it is not about you will get 10, 15 authors and you will have a good publication. It is always about the contribution part. Then comes the second part where your abstract, which is very, very important. You will write one abstract. Make sure in general in Scopus, what we have seen is at 150, it starts with 300 words, towards 300 words. And again, the author's guidelines you have to follow. Keywords, very important. Avoid long keywords like and, of. There should not be an acronyms. Very generalized keywords you should use, which normally you have also used while searching the articles. Very, very important. Then comes an integral part of your entire manuscript, the introduction, the introducing the problem. When you're introducing your research work, make sure you should highlight your research gap very, very well. Use current references. I've seen certain manuscripts where the references are from 2010, 2011, 2013, 2014, and that's it. Now you can use the standardized references. I'm not saying that you cannot use the reference from 1951, Beer-Lambert's law. Of course you can use. But your current references should be there, ideally from Q1, Q2, Q3, or a good publication houses. So this will give an impact to the editor that yes, the scholar has done the current study, and he has also highlighted the research gap very well. This could be an exciting manuscript. Let's send it for a review. If he sees the references are old and not from a good publication houses or not from a good journals, immediately he will say, okay, this manuscript does not match my aims or scope, and you can refer to some other journals, and good luck with you for that. So we have to avoid these things. Make sure, and sometimes it is also ethical also, nothing against to that. You should also cite the journal, some of the references, because of course, if you're publishing in certain journal, you can definitely, you can also cite the same journal. But in a subscription model, it is very, very important. Subscription model means free publication. Remember, we are going for a free publication, free submission. We are not paying a single penny. And that is how our manuscript should have some citation value. Otherwise, it will not be go for a review, and you will not get the success of publication. Fall in love with the editor. Okay, it's an imagination. If you know the editor of a journal, I mean, I'm talking hypothetically here. That means you should know your journal really well. Then comes very important part. Follow the guidelines of the journal author's instruction, how you're writing the material methods, what is the research methodologies, what are the result and discussion, make long, and it is not about the length of the result and discussion, it is what you are discussing about the results. Is it relevant? What are the conclusion? What are the future application and the impact of your study? And then, of course, you can use references. You can use nowadays in our Edoxia, we always have the webinars, how to use different reference softwares. We have dedicated webinars also with live demonstrations, how you can use these softwares. So utilize this. Then comes your table with always a footnote, your figures and tables. Make sure your figures and tables are accurate. It is not like you have 20 tables and 20 figures, which have neither you have followed the author's instruction, it does not have the kind of resolution which are required as written in author's instruction, and avoid color images. As in subscription model, it is already known to everyone. Every scholar should know that in Scopus, generally, the colored images, if I'm going for a Scopus or a subscription model publication, free publication, I should avoid color figures. So use grayscale figures. And make sure they are certain with their DPI, which actually mentioned in the author's instruction. Then always make sure your data, primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary, which you are getting from the results, secondary, which you are analyzing it, and tertiary, where you are interpreting that results in the manuscript. This is how you learn the art of interpretation. Do not give primary data, secondary data, tertiary data in a one manuscript. In that way, you will increase the number of figures, which has no value. I am interested in what you have analyzed, what is the results you have got, and what is the new thing you have developed, or you are telling me the new concept of this particular research, which no one has done before. So this is the things that you need to analyze, and you need to make sure you have that particular aspects in your manuscript. And furthermore, finally, I would like to reiterate that in Edoxia, whenever any scholar starts learning with a manuscript, and especially when he starts learning in terms of Scopus free publications, it is always very important to make sure that you're learning the right way in terms of the current trends, how you're writing your manuscript, how much time you're giving to your manuscript. It is also very, very important. Plan each and everything in your research. It is not like in 10 days you need Scopus publication, because the entire 4 years of your PhD journey you have fulfilled, and now in 10 days you need one publication. So this is not the research. This is not, and sometimes what I feel is that in all the scholars part, they are an excellent manuscript, but sometimes they miss the point in terms of the right submissions, right targeting of the journals. So my humble request to all the global academicians, those who are here today and those who will be watching, that as you join Edoxia, make sure you learn each and every aspect. We are always there to help you, guide you. And we are also learning every day. But the point is that we should go for a free publication. And please be aware of all these scammers, these what we call the manuscript suicide. Please do not do the manuscript suicide. Please do not lure into someone is saying, okay, in 10 days you will get the publication in Scopus and you are paying some handsome amount of money. Because Scopus article processing charges, it's very clear. Open access is very clear. They're starting from 1,500 roughly for the Q4 journals, and they go on up to 5,000 USD. But as a scholar, I want to publish it for free. I want to learn. And definitely it is possible in Edoxia. So thank you so much, sir. I would like to, again, thank to our Honorable President, sir, for giving me this wonderful opportunity in this MRD 2024 as a keynote speaker. And I'm so thrilled that the excellent sessions of keynote speakers are going on. And I have also presented my point of view. If any scholar wants any questions, they can reach out to me, to my email, to my phone number, and definitely would like to help you. Over to our Honorable President, sir. Thank you, sir.